Today's agenda, I will try to cover CM in debt collections and exposure management. We have done almost 200 plus implementations of our product in banking and telecom domain, and I would like to cover a few of the best practices that we have seen, okay, in all our implementations. Firstly, on basically at the customer level strategies rather than account level. Okay, what we have seen in the past is following up on customers, okay, basically at an account level. A single customer can have multiple accounts, okay, spanning different products, spanning different portfolios. Now the trend has turned to basically perform collections treatment at a customer level. Okay, so instead of calling the customer twice or thrice for different portfolios or different products, what we do is a single calling, sending single notification, highlighting these are the products that you've defaulted on, and these are the amounts that you have to pay on these dates. So basically this helps in elevating the customer's experience. Account and customer level information. The system basically integrates with any billing system or any CRM system, and the key information about the customer, about the account, the payment details, the billing details, the customer level information, all those information are shown on one screen. Okay, so it's not just calling to collect the debt, but it's also training the customers on what is the significance for paying on time. Okay. Auto allocation based on certain decision keys. Okay, some of the decision keys. Okay, one thing I would like to highlight. One of the key feature of any collection system should be automating the allocation process. Okay, depending on various decision keys like bucket, the risk of the customer, and so on. Some of the key parameters that will actually elevate the customer experience is allocation based on customer's language preference. Okay, high bucket accounts or high risk accounts has always to be allocated to a senior or an experienced collector, so that he can manage the various queries or tough questions which are asked by the customers. Customer level allocation. Many of you guys would be having delivered accounts which are allocated to outside agencies. Okay, the customer can have multiple accounts, so it's always been a good idea to allocate all these accounts to a single agency. Okay. Segmentation and strategy management. All customers are not the same. Okay. You have to categorize, slice, dice your customer base into various segments based on their behavioral score, based on their payment pattern, based on their credit score, and so on. So basically, we will have different behavioral scores, and you will profile your customers differently into high risk, very high risk, medium risk, and so on. And then you will have different type of drilling strategies, okay, dunning calendars on different segments. We can also have personalized dunning calendars. For example, if a customer's preference is to receive SMSs rather than emails, or if he has preferences over call rather than SMSs or emails. So these kind of preferences can actually be defined so that the customer experience can be elevated. Exclusion management. There are scenarios where, in one of our implementation in Thailand, we seen there was a flood-like situation, okay, actual floods, and most of the customers, they couldn't pay on time because of the floods and so on. Now, there is a feature where you can actually exclude such kind of customers from any kind of dunning treatments. So you exclude the accounts, you can exclude the customers, you can exclude based on PIN codes or areas and so on, depending on the situation. And definitely there are various tools like settlements and promises to pay, wherein the debt, okay, of the customer can be minimized by entering into a settlement policy. Suppose if you are outstanding by 500 dirhams or 500 USD, you can actually de-stress the customer by having him pay 100 dirhams into 5 installments. Okay. Similarly, a promise to pay, if the customer is actually promising to pay, then you can actually exclude him from any kind of dunning treatments. Okay. So you do not perform any calling, any actions since he has already promised to pay. So these are the few points in debt collections that actually help in elevating the customer experience while you are actually meeting your KPIs on collections. Now, CEM in exposure management or credit control. Okay. With credit scoring, we actually find out whether we can actually increase the credit limit of the customer on a time-to-time basis. Okay. What should be the credit limit? Okay. If there is a new subscriber added, if he goes for a new package or a new component, automatically the credit limit should increase. If he is not performing well, the credit limit should decrease. So all those interventions are done automated by the system. One important feature that is budget control. Okay, budget control at a customer level. Suppose if I want to make a call, an urgent call, and suddenly I find that my credit limit has already been used, and my son has used it. Okay, so what we can have is a budget control where a customer himself can choose. Okay, what is the credit limit at a subscriber level? Okay, so my son can get only a maximum of $50. My wife can get $55 or $60 and so on. So budget control at customer level, at account level, at subscriber level, and also at a component level, wherein a customer can choose, okay, how much value of ISD calling I can do, how much value of data usage can I have. So all these can be configured and the users themselves can do it. Roaming intervention, okay, wherein the customers have gone on roaming and suddenly, okay, due to his over usage, his breach of credit limit, he gets barred. This is not a good experience. Okay, so there are features where as soon as he goes into roaming, the system automatically sends them a SMS requesting him that this is the percentage you have reached 80% of your credit limit and you will soon exhaust it. So do you want to exclude yourself from exposure barring? And depending on the response of the customer, you can actually exclude it. Okay. Finally, on exposure management, real-time integration with your billing system, with your CDR, rating real-time, you can actually send real-time SMSs to the customers when they have reached 80% or 100% and so on. And suppose if the customer wants to get barred on 100%, that means he doesn't have money to pay, over his credit limit, then such kind of interventions can be implemented in an automated fashion. Okay, now I will hand over the stage to Mazda, who is one of our users, who has come from Oman, Navras Telecom. Please come on the stage. And she would basically like to talk about her experience on using the collection system, whereas elevating the customer experience.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Majda from Navras Telecom, a member of Ooredoo Group. It was my pleasure, or our pleasure, as a business users in Navras collection department to use the CMRC. So I want to share with you some results that we achieved in these last 12 months and first quarter of 2014. The churn we have achieved a reduction in the churn of 20% in first quarter of 2014. This is of the terminated accounts. Before we used to terminate a lot of customers, but after using the CMRC and for how the support we get from that system, we achieved the 20% of reduction of that churn. Also, we managed to reduce of the TOS, which is temporary disconnect services of the customer, to be live of 20% in the first quarter 2014 as well. So many customers, we try to call the customer before they get toast and capture all these customers just to use our services completely without disconnecting. Finally, we achieved more than 50% of recovery percentage by using CMRC in last 12 months of 2013. By this, we could achieve the balance between the collection productivity and improving the customer experience. And thank you.
Thank you.